Hello there and welcome to yet another episode of Colors of India. As usual, we bring you a selected update from the world of art, music and culture, but this week we have something extra special lined up for you which will be revealed later in the show. For now, let's take a quick look at our main stories. We have the International Sufi Festival, the Inside Story and Delhi ke Pakwan Food Festival. Folk music is the oral way of transferring the old stories of our ancestors, but this particular group has found a quirky way to make this awesome. When the thought of folk music crosses the mind, the ears tend to search for a rather soothing, traditional piece of music. Now, if you were to come across Russia's Otava Yo's folk music, it's likely that you'll end up tapping your feet and wanting to dance along. In the third edition of the International Sufi Festival organized by the ICCR, the Otava Yo from Russia rocked the stage with their League of Music.
We made a name for our music. We call it Russian beat. And I think it describes exactly what we are doing. It's too difficult to play authentic music and get attention. But if you make some steps toward to audience, they listen something that they understand. So this is the new way of performing.
The origin of Russian folk music dates back to the first millennium, when Slavic tribes lived in Russia. Their music was a union of humorous rhymes, rituals and lyrical songs. Thus playing to the beat of their Russian beat, in their folk-turned disco song, this group gave new interpretations to Russian folk music and revived many old and favorite Soviet tunes.
This world is becoming very flat now. It is not like that we can, as Indians, live here and be contained in. So it is a good opportunity that we, through these dances, songs, and different festivals and dramas and all that, that we are able to learn more about other cultures and bring harmony and peace within the mankind.
Formed in the year of 2005, the band outshines itself with its marvelous musical mixture of Russian folk with rock, punk and film soundtracks. The six-member band uses modern-day musical instruments like violins, electric guitar, bass guitar and drums. Joining them from song to song were the bagpiper and the gusli, which is a 12-stringed wooden instrument, one of the oldest Russian instruments.
I enjoyed the performance, it was great, it was very entertaining, music was wonderful and lyrics were very funny.
Apart from the funny and lyrical numbers, some of their songs depicted the wintriness of Russia, like the song Street Cleaners, for instance. A comical song which has been adapted into a video and talks about a street cleaner who falls for a woman.
It was actually very good. I never heard this type of concert before, so it was a good experience for me to be here and listen this Russian music.
Singer and a good guy.
And finally, ending sweetly on a very high note, they presented a popular Finnish number.
All songs presented in an exciting new manner that sure did get a lot of attention. Something else also grabbed the eyeballs this week, and that was the Comic-Con Fest.
It was the one convention that all comic lovers and the patrons of the illustrative art look forward to, the third Indian Comics Convention. The fest was a visual feast with its wide variety of comics and merchandise sold by national and international publishing groups.
It's visual storytelling. It's a very powerful medium. In fact, in my opinion, it's as powerful as a regular book. In fact, at times more. You know, you heard the saying, "A picture's worth 1,000 words," and also, comic books are really fun. In fact, they're a great way of getting kids started into regular books as well. So, and here you see people from all age groups coming to buy comics. And they're coming for their own different reasons. So yeah, comic book is very relevant, it's very important, it should always be like that. I think that's something that you get to see.
When you say comics, it's hard to ignore the world of manga and anime. Manga is the style of comic design which originated in Japan and has taken the world by storm since the 19th century. Manga gives to the reader a wide variety of realistic images. And Vertical Ink, a leading manga publisher, was the key fest attraction.
Manga can be read by anything from a 2-year-old to somebody in their 50s, male or female, young and old. And they cover a wide range of genres and topics and perspectives. So that accessibility makes manga so appealing on a global level. So not just in the States, but in Europe, other parts of Asia, South America, manga is starting to be very prolific.
The manga craze was there to see. Cosplay, or a costume play contest, was organized as part of the fest, and many participants chose to become their favorite manga characters.
I'm Naruto. I'm watching it for 6 years and I'm a big fan of Sasuke. That's why cosplaying as him. Comics and anime takes me to my childhood. Well, I'm still into it, so cosplaying for that reason. The characters, the hairstyles, the eyes, everything, they're just amazing. Even the storyboard, they're for kids as well as adults. They have a wide range of comics.
Reading comics is fun, but making one is no child's play. In the comic world, illustrations and designing is all about the art and the finer talent. As the Indian market for comics grow, we see a new trend with the birth of Sufi comics. Incorporating the miniature painting style of design and calligraphy, Ali's book, The Wise Fool of Baghdad, takes illustrations to a different level.
The Indian comic industry is maturing, right? If you see the sort of comics, for example, here in Comic Con, there's a huge variety of, it's not just kids anymore or not just Hindu mythology, it's just this huge variety of themes that are being dealt. Some are kids, some are teens, some are adults. So I think the generation that, like my generation that grew up reading comics, now want to again read comics but different sort of themes, not just for kids. So that's why I think we are just seeing a lot of different subjects being dealt with in the comic medium form.
From the colorful pages of the comics comes the little cupcakes, each celebrating a specific character and paying tribute to the art of illustration.
Graphic novels, Indian comics, anime and more. Looks like Comic-Con was a super hit. It is now time for us to go on our first break. I will see you on the other side. Coming up, Inside Story and Food Trail. Colors of India has always been a weekly cultural bulletin that kept you updated about things that happened. But some of the feedback mails that came to us have pointed out the need to educate the uninitiated audience. And keeping this in mind, we have now started a new segment which we are calling the Inside Story. Centuries ago, a Telugu-speaking travelling community called the Andi Pavakathakali Pandaram made their way to Palakkad in Kerala. They were devotees of Lord Subramanya and earned a living by organising temple rituals during the festive season. At other times, they travelled to various villages with their glove or hand puppets. Over a period of time, their style of storytelling, which was then based on Tamil folk drama, evolved to incorporate regional flavours and were influenced by the classical dance form of Kerala, Kathakali. Soon these puppets started to look like the Kathakali characters, and for a while at least, it looked as if Pavakathakali, which means dolls that played out stories, were there to stay.
There is a very deep connection between the traditional theatre forms and puppetry. And for instance, the preliminaries of a performance, the idea of the Sutradhar and Vidushak, they are in different names and garbs in most of the traditions. And and what else? The sense of rhythm, the music, the text, and you know, they are like almost the same. Like for instance, if you take up Yakshagan Gombeyata, which is here, performances, it's very close to the Yakshagan performance of coastal Karnataka, or for that matter, Pavakathakali of Kerala. Very close to the Kathakali performances there. The evocation of Ras and Bhav, as in theatre, traditional theatre, is also present here.
But their glorious days did not last for long, and by the 1970s, this tradition of Pavakathakali was almost lost. The Sangeet Natak Academy under Kamala Devi Chattopadhyay commissioned G. Venu, a well-known Kudiyattam performer, with the task of its revival.
We revived it 32 years back. We were asking from village to village where in olden days this art form was performed. Even old ladies, they remember the performance they witnessed in their childhood. So it's very strong when puppet is dancing. It is much more than any other filming or animation or anything. So that is the reason we brought this back to active performance.
Under Venu, this art form got a new lease of life and also many takers. The hand and arms of the pavas were carved in wood and the body is stitched cloth. The sizes vary between 30 to 60 centimeters and is manipulated using the thumb and the middle finger. The stories are taken from the Mahabharata or the Ramayana, and even today the performances begin on a ritualistically sanctioned stage before a lighted lamp and always with a prayer.
Glove puppets demand that the puppeteer is also on stage, and sometimes it is fascinating to note the puppeteer going through that gamut of emotions which his puppet is supposed to be communicating. Well, on that note, it's time for us to go on another break on this episode, but do stay tuned, there's more on the other side. Coming right up, Delhi ke Pakwan Festival on Food Trail. Welcome back. On Food Trail this week, I'm on Baba Khadak Singh Marg and I'm at the Delhi ke Pakwan Food Festival organized by the Delhi Tourism. They have close to 70 different stalls here. The variety is mind-boggling, vegetarian and non-vegetarian treats, and so I can't wait to get my hands on those amazing, delicious looking food right there.
The Emporium stretch on Baba Khadak Singh Marg has a festive look to it today. It is the beginning of Delhi ke Pakwan Festival and the crowd is slowly filtering in. The idea behind this festival is to make Purani Delhi and its cuisines accessible to modern cosmopolitan Delhi. A rigorous selection process has ensured that the best eateries of Delhi 6 are all present here today. The Jama Masjid area, with its many eateries celebrating Mughlai cuisine, can only be described as a food lover's paradise. Mughlai is a style of cooking that evolved from the kitchens of the Mughal kings and thrives to this day, long outliving the kings themselves. Kebabs, tikkas, kormas, the list is endless, and at the very first stall that I visited, I tasted the exquisite.
आप मुझे बताएंगे कि ये डिश का क्या, व्हाट इज द स्पेशलिटी ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर?
ये हमारा ना बहुत पुरानी दिल्ली में हमने ये चिकन कोरमा लाहौरी बनाते हैं, बहुत ही स्पेशल एक ग्रेवी के साथ तैयार किया जाता है ये, और इसे जो लोग ना काफ़ी पसंद करते हैं। तो हमें इसके लिए एक अवार्ड भी मिला हुआ है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ दिल्ली से भी मिला हुआ है, और कई जगह से हमने पार्टिसिपेट किया है, तो वहाँ से हमने कई अवार्ड भी जीते हुए हैं इस डिश के लिए खासकर।
To get my hands into this. Well, the chicken is indeed very, very tender. I can use a plastic spoon and just get them out, so that's a good thing. I absolutely love this, the tanginess of the tomato and the flavors of the chicken coming right through. It's of course very tender and very, very rich food. Of course, Mughal cuisine is definitely rich. And the whole plate of Lahori chicken korma will cost you 200 rupees. That's a fair deal, I think.
food festival in Delhi is complete if one does not pay tribute to the wonders of the fluffy puris and hot tikkis. Ignoring the pani puri wala might not be a good idea either. But of the many treats on offer, it was biryani that caught my fancy. The large aluminium vessel concealed within it the centuries-old Persian import, marinated meat in layers of semi-boiled rice matured with the fragrances of spices and saffron.
And here I have the biryani from Hazir Chunni Mihir Qureshi Dukan. This has been running from 1972 and their biryanis are what they're known for. The rice, and what sets them apart from the other dealers in the same area is that they make their masalas on their own. It's a complete family affair. The masala for the biryani is made at home and that's what gives it the different taste.
If you want something on the healthier side, then the counter serving nomadic food might be the place for you. Here, food is made to order and one has to patiently wait until the bajre ki roti is cooked well on the earthenware.
At the Delhi Pakwan Festival, they also have a concept called the nomadic chula cuisine. So to tell us more about it, we have Meenakshi here. Meenakshi, can you tell me a little about this whole concept that you're going on here?
You see, when me and Vinay were working with nomadic communities, we realized that everybody is in such a hurry. Right. Every second we are planning something. So life has a great pace. But when we say Delhi Pakwan Festival और दिल्ली दिल वालों की, तो एक ऐसा क्विजीन हम लेकर आना चाहते थे जिसमें दिल से खाएं लोग, और सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ है जो इस फूड को एंजॉय करने के लिए चाहिए, दैट इज़ पेशेंस. सो इफ़ यू हैव पेशेंस ऑफ एटलीस्ट 20 minutes to see your roti being wonderfully cooked till the last grain on mitti ka tawa, then this is the place for you. And the ingredients are all grown by hunter community of Bawariyas. So it's a unique mix of Bawariyas, Jogis, Banjaras, so a different kind of diversity. And I think that is what people taste in the roti itself.
I was served bajre ki roti with delicious gatte ki sabzi. Gatte ki sabzi is gram flour dumplings flavored with dry spices, steamed and then dunked into a yogurt-based curry. It is a traditional Rajasthani speciality.
To begin with, I was greatly fascinated by the way he made his rotis. Just by the tap of his hand, it was there ready to be cooked. And of course, all of you know that I'm not a great fan of vegetarian food. Definitely surprised but pleasant.
After all that meal, it was time for another quick stop, but this time just for the dessert.
And now I've finally reached the dessert counter and they have the Daulat Ki Chaat. This is an item that's seen in the Chandni Chowk area. They make it only during the winter, so if you want to have this, it's best to have it here or wait until next winters because very soon they will stop making this.
It is a snow-white dessert which is covered with golden yellow saffron, green pistachio nuts and decorated with edible silver foil. It also includes unrefined sugar and roasted khoya.
After that fabulously light dessert which is called Daulat Ki Chaat, it is now time for me to say goodbye on the show. Do remember to send in your suggestions and feedbacks onto our Facebook page, and until later next week, goodbye and take good care.